let me just say, since this is my last one of the year, if you have been enjoying this series, if you have been number one on your library holds list, because that was the point of this entire thing, was to put my people on, put y'all on to what is coming out so that y'all could be number one at the top of the holds list for your libraries, so you could let your libraries know, hey, I'm interested in this black book that's coming out, can y'all please buy it? This is what lets the libraries know that there is interest, so that when it's time to spend money and buy books, they know that there is some interest in books that are by black authors. So never forget that if you don't physically go to the library, you can still use the notify me feature for Libby, and that also lets your specific libraries know that there is interest. So if you have enjoyed this series thus far, if you've been number one at some point because of it, please let me know down in the comments below. Drop me just a number one if you don't have nothing to say. I would just love to know. But anyway, let's get into these books. I have quite a few to talk about, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have as many to talk about as I would like. I just realized I don't have no earrings on. I cannot have that. I cannot have that. Hold on. Okay, I'm ready now. Whew. Okay. Because I would have been editing this video like, something's off. Something is off. Y'all know how this works. You've been here before. Quarter 4 is October, November, and December. So that's what we're talking about in this video. If you have not seen the other ones for quarters 1, 2, and 3, make sure you check those out as well. Books don't expire. You can still hear about them, because I like to also talk about ones that are not super popular. So maybe you might find some books that you didn't even know about, you know. Okay, so let's start us off with something super popular that I personally am very much looking forward to. This is the YA thriller queen herself, Tiffany D. Jackson. We have The Scammer that is coming out on October 7th. I'm super excited about it. I just know that she's gonna do her thing. She always does her thing. I mean, what can I say? This is described as, and I'm looking down because this is where my notes are, y'all. I haven't read, well, I read one of these, but I haven't read most of these. Okay, so we have The Scammer unpacks schemes, survival in the course of deception. That's all I got. That's all I got. It's a thriller, so I don't like to get too deep. I don't like to get all up in the synopsis when it's a thriller, because it's just get into it. It's Tiffany. That's it, right? Okay. Also, we have Allen Iverson's memoir that is coming out. It's called Misunderstood. And it says that he opens up in his memoir giving us his side of the story, the highs, the controversies, and the lessons from a life often judged from the outside. I do feel like the title is very fitting for this one. I will say that. I feel like AI was pretty much misunderstood. So I'm slightly interested in this one. Slightly. So we have an illustrated graphic novel about Fela Kuti's life. It's called Fela, Music is the Weapon by Jibola, Fagbamiye, and Conor, McCreery. So this graphic novel is chronicling his life. If you don't know who he was, he's considered the king of Afrobeats. This I'm looking forward to. This I'm definitely looking forward to, and I would love to see the illustrations in this one. I do like graphic novels, and I should talk about them more. I really should. I need to share them with y'all, the ones that I like. But I do own quite a few, and I would love to have this one in my collection. And then also on October 7th, we have Archive of Desire. And this is a poem in 4 parts for CP Cavafy by Robin Coste Lewis. It's a powerful collection inspired by the archives of Queen Alexandrian poet CP Cavafy. It blends poetry, performance, and reflection on desire, art, and identity. I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea what to expect, but something tells me that this is going to be out of the ordinary. Whatever's in these pages is, yeah, see, it's all types of things. It's like, you know, some poetry type things, but there's also some like regular writings in here. So yeah, I have no idea what to expect with that. Not a clue. Conor sent me this. Thank you very much to Conor. And then these came from Plume. I'm super excited about this. These are re-released books by Bernice McFadden, who used to publish these romance novels under another pen name called Geneva Holiday. And we have Fever and we have Groove. And yes, I did read these years ago when they were actually, when they were out. Once I realized that Geneva Holiday was Bernice McFadden, I was like, oh, well, duh. Of course I'm gonna, like, I was literally at a point where I was just gobbling up everything that she had written. And I was like, I don't care if it's a different name, if it's a different genre, I'm reading it. And I remember these were really fun. These were just so fun, so fun. Because you know how the other books that she writes are typically pretty serious stuff, like, you know, good old historical fiction. But these are just, honestly, these are just fun. And I am going to read them over because, I mean, I read them so long ago. I couldn't tell you what happened in those books. So I am very happy to have these re-release copies because the covers are super cute. Those are also out on October 7th. And then we also have on October 7th another Black romantasy. Y'all know I was talking about Black romantasies in another video, and I'm happy to report we got another one, y'all. We have another one. This one is coming from Shannora Williams, who normally writes dark romance, regular romance, thrillers. I've read her thrillers, and I have enjoyed most of them. So I love that she is dipping her toe into the fantasy genre. Just, girl, do it all. Just do it. Just do it. You know what I mean? Okay. So this one is described as Dungeons and Dragons meets The Wizard of Oz. This darkly hilarious romantasy adventure in which a young woman who will do anything to rescue her sister from an evil sorcerer's curse hires a ruthless assassin. They embark on a quest with a band of misfits, one of whom harbors a devastating secret that could ruin their fairy tale ending. I like the sound of that. I like it. I like it. Okay, and then we have another indie author. This book is called Concrete and Cadence by C.M. Barnes. This one comes out October 8th. Okay, and this will be available on Kindle Unlimited. This one follows Cadence, who is a super smart engineer who's sworn off love, and Concrete, a famous rapper who's not used to hearing no. It's funny, flirty, and all about taking a chance when opposites attract. And then we have Requiem by Ava Tenney. This is the second book in the Hawk series, but it seems like these are different characters than book one. This is a dark romance. It's about a woman who's taken vows of poverty, celibacy, and obedience, only to have her world shaken when her best friend's brother Damon comes back to town. They are forced to work together for justice, but the chemistry between them makes it a dangerous, forbidden love story. Okay, and then we have Black Girl's Day Off by Leah T. Williams. This one is about three best friends who skip school for Black Girl's Day Off and end up pulled into a magical bookstore that drops them right into history. Like Claudette Colvin on the Bus, Hidden Figures at NASA, Black Wall Street, even Motown. It's fun, empowering, and a reminder that history lives in us. That sounds so fun, y'all. Like, super, super fun. I think it's a YA. And then coming out on October 14th, we have Minor Black Figures by Brandon Taylor. And let me just tell you something. I, to this day, have not read one Brandon Taylor, and I feel really bad about it. I feel really bad. But you know what? I'm probably gonna start with this one because that's just how I roll. I can't, if somebody who I haven't read come out with something new, I want to read the new. I'll read the new, and then I'll decide if I want to go back and start digging in the catalog. You know what I mean? Okay, so this one follows Wyatt, who is a black painter in New York who's juggling art, identity, and love while dealing with creative block. Over one hot summer, he falls into a complicated relationship and questions how faith and art shape who he is. And then this cover has been all over the place because it is so gorgeous. Like this cover is so gorgeous. It's called The Leaving Room by Amber McBride. Also out on October 14th. This is a novel in verse about a girl named Gospel. She is a keeper who helps young souls pass through the leaving room after death. When she meets another keeper named Melody, they form an unexpected connection, even love, while guiding souls on. It's haunting, lyrical, and ultimately hopeful. Aw, I like that. Alright, now also coming out on October 14th, we have Boomtown by Nick Stone. And shout out to the folks over at Simon & Schuster for sending me an advanced reader copy. Now, this is the one book off this list that I have read. Actually, I finished it this afternoon. I literally finished it today. And I'm not going to say too much because y'all need to watch the next video, because the next video I'm going to be talking about some of the ones that I showed y'all that I've actually read, and I'm going to be talking about them. I'm going to be telling you what I think. So they're marketing this book as Gone Girl meets P Valley. I love me some P Valley, y'all. I really, really do. So when I seen this, I was like, I have to have it, right? I really enjoyed Nick Stone's YA books, and this is her first adult novel. So not only is she doing an adult book, but it's an adult book and it's like a thriller as well, and they're strippers. So like, I was like, oh, she's really just like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna really do it. Okay, in this book there are two missing strippers, and there is one woman named Lyric who's also a stripper who is determined to find them. Okay, now what I like about this book, see, I'm not supposed to be talking about this book. I told y'all, y'all gotta wait for the next video. But what I like about this book is that you're getting multiple POVs. You're getting multiple POVs from the strippers that are missing. You are getting also the POV of the woman Lyric that is looking for them, and you hear from another woman. So this is a fully formed thriller where we're just hearing from everybody that might have something to say about this situation. Okay, so yes, Boomtown, get into it, October 14th. Okay, so also coming out on October 14th, we have episodes The Diary of a Recovering Madman by Gucci Mane. This is gonna be Gucci Mane's second book, his first autobiography. I read it, I really enjoyed it. And the one thing I like about Gucci Mane in these books is that he gonna tell it. He is going to tell it. He not leaving names out, being on some, nah, it's too controversial, I'm not going to talk about that. No, he's naming names. He's naming names. He's talking about real situations. He's telling y'all what happened from his perspective, of course. But I really enjoyed that. If you're going to write about your life, tell us something. You ain't got to tell us everything, but you got to tell us something. Otherwise, what are we reading this for? Okay? Tell us something we didn't know. And I love how candid he was in that first book. And from what I am reading of the synopsis for this one, this is going to be more of the same. I always felt like his first book, like he should have waited, because it seemed like when it ended, a lot of things had changed for him. But it was like the change was just beginning, if that makes sense. So this one seems like it's going to be a little bit more fleshed out as far as his current life, you know. I must say, I am interested in this one. I am. Okay, and then coming out on October 16th, we have another Kindle Unlimited book, and this one is called How to Lose Control in 42 Days by Brooklyn Mosley. This is a romance, by the way. We meet Ariel St. James. She is the CEO of a luxury hotel empire, and she's used to control. Okay, until a kiss with a 28-year-old bartender named Micah changes everything. Over 42 days, their connection deepens into a passionate, vulnerable romance that challenges power, reputation, and the courage to let go. That sounds really cute. It does. It does. And then we also have Balancing Act, The Heights, Volume 1. This is going to be book 1 in a series by Paula Chase. This comes out October 21st. And this one kicks off a new series about teens navigating friendship, ambition, and community in the Heights. Now, my question is, Washington Heights? Which Heights are we talking about? I hope it's Washington Heights, because then that would mean it's set in New York, and y'all know I love that. I love that. And another book that is very high on my list for me to check out is called Psychopomp and Circumstance by Eden Royce. Also out on October 21st. I love how creepy this cover is. It immediately caught my attention. And this one blends folklore, Southern Gothic, and a supernatural in a powerful collection that explores family, culture, and the thin veil between the living and the dead. Okay, and then we have some more re-releases. Okay, they have decided to give us a treat and re-release these books by Percival Everett. So we got two of them. We have Suitor, and we have Walk Me to the Distance. I'm going to tell you about Suitor first, because this is Percival Everett's first book. This is his debut novel. This was published in 1983. This man has been writing for a very, very long time. And I'm just so happy that he is getting all the love and the glory that he so deserves. Okay? This one, Suitor, follows a struggling baseball player on a wild, surreal journey of self-discovery. Described as funny, sharp, and thought-provoking. Then we have Walk Me to the Distance, which was published in 1985. This one is about a Vietnam vet who feels lost after the war and drifts west to Wyoming, where he ends up in a tiny town with an unforgettable name. He becomes entangled in the lives of his people and takes care of an abandoned Vietnamese girl. In this book, he must navigate themes of identity, exile, and moral ambiguity. And then we also have on October 28th, Dead and Alive by Zadie Smith. This is going to be a collection of essays where Zadie reflects on art, literature, politics, and culture with wit and clarity. She captures the preoccupations of our moment while weaving in her personal reflections on loss, community, and change. Okay, and then this one I'm very much looking forward to because I love the cover of this, and I don't know, it's just something very just different about this whole look of this book. I want this book in my library because I just love the cover. It's called Tall as Her Body by Robert de la Chevautier. That sounds right. I don't know. Could be wrong. October 28th. A powerful portrait of one boy's journey to manhood amidst the collapse of the West Indies banana industry. Moving between Guadalupe and Dominica, Fidel must navigate family conflict, colonial legacies, faith, folklore, and the haunting presence of the dead, in a story that blends the magical with the deeply human. Now, I do have this on ebook, and this sounds like something that would be perfect for the spooky season. And then we also have coming out on October 28th, Our Vicious Oats by, I feel like every time I say that word, it sounds like I'm saying oats by Annie Davenport, and she is the author of the Blood Trial series. And if you'll remember, if you're caught up on videos, I did do a trial chapter with this one, and I did really love the way this one started. I read the first chapter, and yes, very much so. This is a black romantasy, and we are following a girl named Kadisha, and there is a prophecy surrounding her that basically says that she is going to be queen, she's going to unite all of the kingdoms, and she is going to have a son of royal blood. So her father has taken this to mean that she is supposed to marry this very specific man. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be. I don't know, but either way, I'm very interested, and I want to continue reading this book for sure. And thank you to the people over at Harper Voyager for sending me a copy of this. And another one I'm super excited for is Lost in the Garden of Eve by Elle Devine. Now, this comes out October 28th, and if that name sounds familiar, it's because this is the same author of the Drama High series. Did you read that series? I'm gonna pop a picture of one of them, because these is like, if you know, you know. Matter of fact, I might even still have some in this room. This series was it, you know, with the black teens on the front. I mean, it was definitely a series to stop you in your tracks, because, you know, yeah, there was the Sweet Valley High, you know, the Babysitters Club and all those other ones, and Gossip Girl. But like Drama High, the Drama High series was for us. That was our version. I am excited about the fact that this author is still writing. However, this book is definitely for adults. This is not a teen book. We follow some strippers again. An exotic dancer turned investigative journalist probes a spate of disappearances from the Honey Pot, her former employer. For help, she taps her detective ex-boyfriend, which threatens her current relationship with the club's owner. Listen, I like reading about strippers, so keep them coming. Keep them coming. There's always drama, and P-Valley ain't come back yet. I need this. I literally need this. Okay, and then my girl Nay is coming out I don't have a date for this, but this comes out in October. This is Polar Bad Bitches Cry 2 by Nay. This is going to be an urban romance. This is a book about Pilar, a powerful woman in the strip club circuit. Yes, see, another. Listen, the stripper books are clearly trending right now. Clearly. Okay, a powerful woman in the strip club circuit who's used beauty and control to mask deep trauma. When she connects with Amir, her childhood best friend and first love, they must face old pain and rediscover the healing power of love, vulnerability, and second chances. I love a second chance romance. I really do. And it's taken me a while to realize that, but I noticed that every time I read one, I really enjoy it. I just like it. I like it when people double back. But you gotta double back when it's like something to double back for. Like, you can't just be doubling back to some old BS. Because then I'm like, girl, please, enough. Okay, so that's everything for October. That was a lot for October. So that, yeah, this is how we get fooled, because we're just thinking like, oh, this is great, like there's so many black books coming out. But now it's good, the list is gonna start to dwindle a little. Okay, so in November, starting off, we have a book that I'm highly anticipating, and that is Son of the Morning by Akwaeke Emezi. Whatever Akwaeke Emezi writes, I want to read. Period. That's it. In the story. Okay. And I feel like Akwaeke is one of those authors now that is like, what can't they write? Because they just going to dip and dabble wherever they feel, and the pen is still going to work. The pen is going to work every time. They're like, listen, where you want to put me? Oh, romance? Okay, cool. Oh, fantasy? Oh, okay, cool. And now we have, yeah, another fantasy. But an adult fantasy. I think the other one, like Bitter, and the other one, those were not adult. Those were young adult. Okay, this is a fantasy where the secret of Galilee Kincaid's existence collides with Lucifer Hallel and the princes of hell. Oh, that was a lot. As unseen battles rage between heaven, hell, and earth, Galilee must decide whether to embrace the dangerous power inside her, even as attraction and loyalty threaten to bring entire worlds to their knees. Yep. Listen, the synopsis really could have just said boo, and I would have been like, yes. Put that on the list. Put that on the list. Okay. And then next we have Cursed Daughters, which I am in love with this cover so much. The author is Oyinkan Brathwaite. Now, this is also the author of My Sister the Serial Killer. Now, let me just say this. My Sister the Serial Killer did not work for me. I did DNF it within, after like 1 hour on audiobook. It just wasn't for me. People love it though, but it wasn't for me. I still want to read this. Anihi, who's believed to be the reincarnation of her cousin Monif, and her family carries a curse that no man can ever truly stay with them. When she falls in love, she has to face whether she's doomed to repeat the same tragic cycle or if she can finally break it. Okay, I like breaking curses type books. I do. And then next up, we also have another black fantasy. Listen, bring the fantasy. Bring the black fantasy, okay? The King Must Die by Kemi Ashingiwa. This is a sci-fi fantasy about Finn, a mercenary on a dying planet whose fathers are executed by the Sovereign. She escapes and joins a rebellion, but gets caught between insurgents and the Sovereign's brutal heir. It's fast-paced, full of rebellion and survival, and asks if one person can save her world or destroy it. And then we also have Palaver by Brian Washington. This book is currently longlisted for the National Book Award. Which is how it even got. I didn't even know he had a book coming out. This one is set in Tokyo, and it follows a gay son estranged from his family in Houston, who's surprised when his Jamaican mother shows up at his door after 10 years. They clash at first, but through meals, conversations, and unexpected connections, they slowly start redefining what home and family really means. Oh, that sounds really like heartwarming and stuff. So I don't know, we'll see. I love that it's set in Tokyo though. Now it makes sense. The cover makes sense. We have Eternal Ruin, which is the sequel of Immortal Dark. Dark academia with vampires is what we have. Okay, I'm not gonna get into the synopsis of the second book because it's a sequel and it's gonna spoil us all, because I haven't read the first one either. So about the first book, we have Cadence is a lost heiress. She infiltrates Uxley University to find her missing sister and has to live with Suseños, the cruel vampire bound to her family, who she suspects killed her parents. Okay, and then also coming out on October 4th, we have Bitter Honey by Lola Akimade. I am very excited about this one, and I think I'm gonna read this one very, very soon, because this author is also the author of In Every Mirror She's Black and the sequel, which is Everything Is Not Enough. I love that series so much. I really, really love it, and I really enjoy the way Lola writes black women. So I'm super excited for this one. This is following a mother and a daughter spanning 4 decades and 3 continents. A mother and daughter divided by long buried secrets, struggling to understand each other as they forge their own paths. One is set in 1978 in Stockholm, and the other one is in 2006. So yeah, whatever it is, I just know, like, at this point, I've not read not one bad book from Lola, so I am a fan. I actually read another book by Lola that I'm definitely going to be talking to y'all about in the next video. Thank you to the people over at William Morrow for sending me this book. Also coming out on November 4th is a nonfiction. I know it's never going to be a whole lot of nonfiction on here, but this one is called Black Owned: The Revolutionary Life of the Black Bookstore. It is a sweeping cultural history that chronicles the revolutionary role of black bookstores as spaces of resistance, community, and literary power. Yes, I absolutely love a black bookstore. It's just always a different type of vibe. They are so important to our communities. Okay, and then we also have Deadly Ever After by Brittany Johnson. This is a queer romantasy about 2 very different princesses, one obedient, one a warrior, who both died before their stories really begin. The gods give them a second chance, find true love's kiss to come back to life, but the wrong kiss could kill them for good. That sounds fun. And then on October 11th, we have Who Knows You Best by CJ Farley. And this is a blend of social commentary and modern romance. Jamaican-American coder Octavia Crenshaw joins a powerful big tech firm where she and fellow black coder Walcott are tasked with building Zion, an AI designed to eliminate bias in storytelling. Imagine that. As professional sparks turn romantic, they discover unsettling truths about their employer that force them to confront issues of race, money, and ethics in the age of artificial intelligence. Okay. And another one that I'm highly, highly looking forward to is I'll Make a Spectacle of You by Beatrice Winifred Eicher. This is a Southern Gothic horror set at Bricksbury University, which is the nation's oldest HBCU. What? A Southern Gothic horror. First of all, just that alone is like, give it to me now. And then to have it set at a HBCU, it's just too many books, y'all. It's not enough books, but it's also too many books. Y'all know what I mean. Graduate student Zora Robinson, tasked with researching a local legend about a beast in the woods, discovers ties to a mysterious society called the Keepers. As visions plague her and a student disappears, Zora must confront Bricksbury's haunting legacy and the question of whether folklore is merely myth or deadly reality. There's something in the woods and it has its eyes on Zora. Okay. Also coming out on November 18th is I, Medusa by Ayana Gray. I love this cover. Let me just move it closer so you can see the locks that turn into snakes. This is obviously a retelling of Medusa, but you know, make it black, which is my favorite thing. I think this one is for adults because her other series other book that I read, Beasts of Prey, that was young adult. That was definitely young adult. Yeah, I believe that this one is adult. Maiden, Mistress, Monster, Myth. This is, I think, going to humanize Medusa. So we'll see what happens. And thank you to the people over at Random House for sending me this copy. Shout out to them. And that is it for November that I could find anyway. Now let's go over to December. Kicking it off on December 2nd, we have Sparks Fly by Zakiya Jamal, who is so funny. I just seen her. I just seen her last weekend. She actually works for Simon, and which is so dope. And I was just talking to her, and I was like, wait a second, don't you have a book coming out? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, it's a big deal, you know. It's a very big deal. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be talking about you in my video, you know. Okay, so this is an adult romance. I think this is her first adult romance. She has another book that came out. I can't think of the name right now, but that was YA. This is adult. This is a late bloomer romance about a woman named Stella who tries to lose her virginity at a sex club but ends up meeting Max, the guy she instantly connects with. Turns out he's tied to the new AI program threatening her job. They're book smart, bi, and perfect for each other if they can figure out how to separate love from workplace drama. Are you noticing a trend here with the AI? AI is definitely making its way into many of these books, is what I'm noticing. Okay, so that's that one. And then also on December 2nd, we have a psychological thriller from Amber and Danielle Brown, who are sisters. This new one from them is called The House Guest. And this is a psychological thriller about Iris. She's still reeling from her mother's death. She heads to a lake house getaway in the Catskills with her partner and friends, but before they arrive, she sees a blood-covered man burying something in the yard. The next day, nothing's there. Everyone thinks she's imagining things, but Iris becomes convinced there's a killer among them. Okay. And then we also have coming out on December 17th, A Hitman's Gift for Christmas by Nay. I don't know what this one is going to be about. I'm just going to assume it's going to be some urban romance since that's usually her thing. And I've been liking the urban romance Christmas books. Like super specific, but I've been liking them. Like A Little Hood, a little fa la la. Like that's the type of Christmas book I be in the mood for. I'm just saying. I can't do the fluffy ones. I need, you know. And then we also have on December 18th, we have One Night Stand by Tanvir Pert. And this is a rugby rom-com. Okay, the female main character is a mechanical engineer. We have a childhood crush going on. We have a friends to lovers happening. And we also have a one night stand gone wrong. So y'all could imagine what's happening in this book. Okay, and another one that also sounds very, very interesting. Oh, and by the way, the last one that I just mentioned, I'm pretty sure it's going to be on KU. And this next one is coming out December 30th, and it is called An Arcane Village by Camila Cole. This sounds really good. I love the cover. It's in adult dark academia with a twist. Set at Warren University, an Ivy League school literally built on the bones of its BIPOC students. Ellery, a freshman, starts to feel an eerie deja vu, like she's been there before. To uncover the truth, she has to team up with a brooding legacy student, Hudson, before the school's magic consumes her completely. Okay, it sounds a little bit like An Academy for Liars by Alexis Henderson, but you know, we'll see. I'm still interested. I am. And this is an indie author as well. And then also coming out on December 30th, we have Sweet Little Hearts, which is by Shannora Williams. So this is her second book on this list, and this one is actually a romance. This one's about Javier, a widowed NBA player who's struggling to raise his daughter, and Octavia, the sassy nanny, who unexpectedly becomes the best thing for both of them. Neither of them is looking for love, but the chemistry between them is undeniable, and when their paths resurface, they'll have to decide if they're willing to risk their hearts again. I love that. Okay. So again, as you can see what I was talking about at the beginning of this video, it's still some books for us coming out, but it's definitely not as many as were in the previous videos I put out. So, you know, this just tells me that we have to continue to read these books, support these authors, and we just gotta keep doing it. That's just pretty much all we can do at this point. And I will continue to do my part by telling y'all about the ones that's coming. So if you have enjoyed this video, if you've enjoyed this series, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know down below in the comments. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe if you have not already, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.